Okay, in this video we're going to look at the question, will the UK government ban VPN services? Now I can't quite believe anybody's even mentioning this, but I've seen a lot of chatter about it, and some politicians have actually mentioned the possibility too. So the background, it's all regards the UK's Online Safety Act, which aims to make Britain the safest place in the world to be online. The idea is that we protect children and young people from stumbling into adult sites of various different subjects. But the problem is its rigid age verification requirements. It basically forces any of these, any websites with potentially adult content, and I don't just mean pornography, I mean sort of adult issues too. They have to be forced, these websites have to be forced to verify a person's age before allowed access to the content. Now that causes a great deal of difficulty for the websites, of course, who have to try and come up with this age verification themselves. So everybody's grappling with these new rules, and one subject or one point that has come up is that you can bypass all these age verification issues if you're a user by using a virtual private network or a VPN. So this has emerged as a key challenge, which really undermines the whole regulatory framework by allowing users to just bypass all the restrictions. Okay, so what is a VPN? Well, VPN's purpose and popularity. I've been using one for about 20 years. I use it because it basically creates an encrypted tunnel between your device and a remote server, and it hides your location, it hides your data, it hides your IP address. I use it for keeping all my data secure, so I can use my email and banking sites when I'm traveling and using all these Wi-Fi networks that I don't know who runs, but if you use a VPN, your data is protected in those circumstances. So they're very useful. I also use it to watch the Match of the Day and the BBC iPlayer when I'm travelling as well, because BBC's iPlayer is only available in the UK. It checks your IP address when you try and connect and blocks you if you're outside the UK. But if you use a VPN and connect to a UK server, everything works. So what are the real uses? Privacy protection, as I've mentioned, it's essential really for anybody who wants to access any confidential sites or keep their emails secure when they're traveling, if they use it outside a work or home environment. Remote work, anybody who wants to connect back to company servers or college servers or something like that, a VPN allows remote access securely. So you can put passwords in and stuff, and they're not in clear text. Data security presents sensitive information that's really covered above there on public Wi-Fi networks. And as I've also mentioned, VPNs can also be used to circumvent geo restrictions and age verification system. A VPN bypasses all the age verification systems. There's several different types, which I've covered in a different video, but all these sites check where you're located first, whether to apply these. So if you go to a porn site, for instance, it will look to see if you're in the UK before it does this age verification. A VPN stops you looking like you're in the UK. So let me just show you quickly. Here's the VPN I use. This is NordVPN, and as you can see here, this is a very basic VPN. Only costs a couple of pounds a month, I think. Discount link in my description below if you want to try it out. And this has got servers all over the world, so basically I can pretend to be in any of these locations. Let's minimize it here, and I'll show you the Chrome extension of NordVPN, all included in their subscription. So if I want to connect to a different server, I would just connect to a VPN in a different country. Now let me just show you what this happens. Now I won't show you an age verification because they're all most of them are on very adult sites, and when they come up they will block my IP address on YouTube if they see content like that. But I'll just show you here. This is an AI imaging site. It's decided it can't be bothered with the image, the age of verification, so it's blacked blocked all UK visitors, so it just doesn't work. Let me show you another one. Here's a. There's no real adult content on these, but the sites don't really want the hassle and risk the fines. You see we're blocked. So the Online Safety Act is actually making the internet quite a lot smaller for UK internet users when you say it's been blocked there. Let me just show you what happens with a VPN. I'm going to connect to a French server now. So it'll hide my real IP address, will be hidden, and any website will think I'm in France because it will see a French IP address. So let's just go back. There's the AI image site. I'll just refresh that. Now I can go to the site perfectly well. It's not blocked anymore. So if you can imagine that if this was an age verification, I would just lose that. So if I went to Pornhub or something like that, I wouldn't get the age verification while I'm connected to France because it obviously doesn't apply to French users. Show me here. This is just a patent site, I think. And I refresh that. And I can get those dangerous adult bead patterns that are on this site. So it's normally blocked. Basically, it sees I'm in France now or thinks I'm in France. And it all works perfectly. But it also bypasses the age verification. So there's a bit of a regulatory challenge here. So the Online Safety Act requirements says basically you must have robust age verification for sites with potentially harmful content. It's very difficult for websites because if it's got to be robust, and highly effective is another term that's used, it can't be bypassed. And a VPN bypasses it straight away. If you've got a VPN, age verification doesn't apply. It's as simple as that. And it's all very well saying you've got to block these things, but the BBC iPlayer can't block VPNs. The Chinese government, with the Great Firewall of China, can't block VPNs. So these little sites are struggling. VPNs just circumvent all the Online Safety Act effectively. And remember, our children know how to use VPNs. My youngest was using a VPN server to access games, one called Minecraft, for since he was about 10, I think. So international content, we don't want to look at. If you start banning VPNs, you're in a very grim company, really. It's a dilemma, certainly. But if UK were to ban VPNs, you're joining a list of countries like China, Russia, and Belarus who stop VPNs in order to be able to spy on their users, because VPN keeps your data private from anybody, including governments, and that's why places like China and Russia don't like it. So what's the technical feasibility versus the practical reality? Can these countries block VPNs? Well, there are methods of doing it. Deep packet inspection actually looks inside your data and looks for patterns in the network traffic to try and identify the different VPN protocols. It's quite difficult to do, and this is what the Great Firewall of China does. It's very difficult to do because you can always change these patterns, and lots of VPNs have ways of disguising their traffic so it looks like normal HTTPS traffic, which is, you know, the secure web pages you use, which is also encrypted. So it looks very similar. You can blacklist servers. This is probably the most practical one, is you look for VPN server addresses and block them, but you end up blocking millions of people from legitimate resources that way, and you're stopping them use, obviously, VPNs and the privacy they offer. And apps restrictions, lots of people install VPN apps from official app stores. You can remove them and block them, but there's always ways to get past that. Side loading, obviously, you can load it from a website or a different media source. It's quite easy to do that. Also, new servers for blacklisting. New servers can be rapidly deployed. So this is what NordVPN does to stop BBC iPlayer blocking all its servers. It changes the IP addresses over and over and over again, and it's like a cat and mouse game. Nobody really wins in the end, but my VPN allows me to watch Match of the Day, and it has for 20 years. So in some senses, the VPNs can always win. And blocking encryption causes difficulties for corporate servers. Every large multinational company I've worked with that allow people to dial in and remote access have encryption on their laptops and VPNs for connecting back. It's stupid to not do this, and you can't block a legitimate business tool like that. So what's the path forward? What are the alternatives? Well, really the solution is to make the websites apply the SAGE verification themselves, which the Online Safety Act does, but also it needs to develop methods that can confirm age for them so that they can use, and also without collecting excessive personal data. Now, there are methods of doing this. I was reading one the other day was using the blockchain, the sort of technology behind cryptocurrency and stuff, where you can actually verify yourself anonymously in a way. So you verify your age, and then you just get a cryptographic link that's completely anonymous but proves your age. Now, there's probably some little things to work through with that, but it's a much better system than loading your passport or credit card details, which is what they ask for at the moment. Educational approach, you can enhance digital literacy for parents and children. Technical barriers never work on the internet because people always found the way around it. The problem with the Online Safety Act and the age verification here is the technical barrier is already there. The circumvention to the technical barrier is already there. It was there the day that the Online Safety Act. I guarantee you 2 minutes after the Online Safety Act and all these age verifications were introduced, people were bypassing them. In fact, I think 1,800% more VPN users, one application provider suggested. So while a VPN ban remains technically possible, the economic, security and civil liberty cost makes it really look bad. The UK doesn't want to join North Korea and China and Russia in banning a perfectly sensible and logical privacy tool. Okay, well, I'm going to stop now because I've gone on much longer than I thought. So that's it. That's banning VPNs. In my opinion, a very, very bad idea, and nobody will do it. But the Online Safety Act doesn't really work in its current form while they exist. Okay, so that's the dilemma. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.